Thank you very much. The first Republican candidate for president ran on the slogan, "Free soil and free men." It was a bold declaration against slavery, but it was much more than that. It placed our party squarely behind the self-evident but unrealized truth proclaimed by our founding fathers, that we are created by God, that we are created equal, that we have God-given fundamental rights, that these rights include a right to life and a right to liberty, and that the only legitimate purpose of government is to protect these rights. The issues have changed since our party was organized 150 years ago, but our principles have not. We remain the party of a free land and a free people, and of a limited government that exists to protect our freedoms, not trample them. Freedom includes economic freedom, the right to enjoy the fruit of our labor, to enjoy the things we acquire with those fruits, free from excessive taxation and unnecessary regulation. It includes religious freedom, the right to worship God or to not worship Him according to our conscience, and if we worship Him, to live our faith every day of the week, not just 1 hour on one day of the week. It includes the freedom to protect ourselves, our families, our homes, with force if need be. It includes the freedom to decide, for parents to decide, how and where their children are to be educated. It includes the freedom to speak our minds, to disagree, and to dissent. America faces great challenges today. Our federal government is larger and more intrusive than our founding fathers would have ever imagined or tolerated. We've incurred a national debt of immense size, and our federal government borrows 43 cents of every dollar that it spends each day. The federal debt is a grave threat to our economic freedom, so large that it can only be repaid by soul-crushing, spirit-breaking taxation. But that, frankly, is only the beginning of the left's assault on our freedoms. Their weapon is dependence, the false illusion that if we give up our freedoms, that government will take care of us. The left wants us completely dependent on government for our economic safety, for our economic security, for our personal safety, for our education, even for our health care. They don't want us to be able to defend ourselves. Get this, they believe that law enforcement is inherently untrustworthy and racist, but they only want the police to have guns. They don't want us to practice our faiths. They believe that religion is an anachronism with no useful purpose in the 21st century. They will begrudgingly allow us to say what we want in the four corners of the sanctuary, 1 hour, 1 day a week, as long as it stays there. They don't want us speaking our minds. What we learned as young people, the idea that free speech in America meant that you would defend to the death the rights of those who disagree with you, has been cast aside. Speech now must conform to leftist ideals of correctness, or it is hate speech, undeserving of protection. We are the party of freedom. The Democrats no longer understand what the word means. They hear freedom and they think it means getting free stuff. The Libertarian Party, which was founded on the premise that the two major political parties had abandoned America's foundational commitment to freedom, last week nominated 2 liberal Republicans for president and vice president. The Libertarian candidate for vice president has advocated higher taxes, socialized medicine, and gun control. Our party has shortcomings. We don't always live up to our ideals, but the Republican Party, our party, is the only hope for freedom and the only hope for America. I voted for a candidate different than Mr. Trump in March, but it is absolutely essential that we defeat Hillary Clinton this fall. We have to send to Ohio delegates who will equip him with a winning platform and a strong candidate for vice president, and we need to do everything in our power, each of us, to make sure that Mrs. Clinton is defeated this fall. I promise you, I will stand with you shoulder to shoulder in this cause. Thank you. God bless each of you, and God bless America.